Hello everyone, and welcome to my solo RPG channel. Today we are playing with ChatGPT. Last episode, session, video, we created a setting and a character to play a solo game in. Or, to play any kind of role-playing game in using ChatGPT. Today we're going to try and play solo with ChatGPT. No particular rule set. We're not playing something like Iron Sworn, which I played in the past. We're not aiming for particular sets of games. So we're not playing Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. Though you could probably use this to generate things for you for Dungeons and Dragons and other games. We are just playing a role-playing game, making stuff up as we go, and using GPT to do it. The idea is to get an idea as to how that feels, so that could then be incorporated into a game. So if I then wanted to incorporate it into an Iron Sworn game or Dungeons and Dragons game or whatever. So we had created this character, Erendor, a young man in his early 20s. He's an athletic build, standing at 6 feet tall, with short dark hair and sharp blue eyes that give him a piercing gaze. He carries himself with confidence, and his face shows signs of determination and ambition. Erendor comes from a wealthy family. He has always had access to the best education and training. He is well educated and skilled in business and trade, having grown up in a household where he was exposed to the inner workings of commerce at an early age. He is driven by a desire to succeed and expand his family business interests, but he is also compassionate and empathetic towards those in need. Erendor is a strategic thinker and a natural leader, but he also values the input of others and is willing to listen and collaborate in order to achieve success. I suppose if we were going to improve on him any, we would try and add some flaws in, because we've just got, a fairly good description on, his strengths and stuff from ChatGPT, and that's what we're going to go with. We're not going to play with him anymore at that point. So the situation that he is in is he has been sent to the capital of the kingdom. There is a lot of politicking happening in the kingdom. There is a struggle for power between the three princes. As the successor hasn't been named, I think, or the successor has been named, but that stuff can change. In any case, the succession hasn't happened yet, as the sickly king is still alive. There's also war brewing and all of that. So ChatGPT has suggested that a few different things for us to concern ourselves with in the short term. Accommodation, arriving in the capital, he's going to have to find accommodation. So is it going to be, he goes and finds a hotel? Business arrangements. He's being sent by his family to do something with the family business. We don't actually know what that is. Political connections as well. So personal safety. The city is rife with political tension and potential danger, and the family matters. So there are those sort of 5 things to think about looking at, and I like accommodation. And I think that the first thing to do is his family would have contacts in the city, right? So you'd want to get in touch with them and give them ideas as to I think that as a noble, so he's from a noble family and he's come to do business for his family. He would want to secure his business arrangements, political connections, and accommodation all at the same time, if possible. Potentially staying with someone that he knows, a connection in the town, or getting recommendations and staying at affiliated businesses. For instance, Noble might have a hotel chain, a noble that he knows might have a hotel chain or something like that. So he can go and stay at that hotel chain, potentially at a discount, but, politically siding with that noble in there. Or, he might want to know to stay away from particular other places, like don't go to this part of town or don't go to this hotel chain because this hotel chain's owned by this political rival. So there's a few different concerns there. So the first thing I think he's going to do, having arrived in the city, is look for someone. Now, the first problem with using ChatGPT that I've noticed as we've been generating this setting is it likes to be very accommodating. If I ask it a yes/no question, it is going to, well, actually, maybe if we do like roll a dice, it will give me a random number, some kind of pseudo-random number that's not generated as a number, but as an expected thing. Okay, so let's try using ChatGPT here. So the question is, does our character Erendor have a connection in the city that he can go straight to and ask for advice? And this is highly likely. So instead of asking that question, because ChatGPT will then extrapolate, I think, and give us ideas for that person, which we're going to want eventually. We're going to want that in a minute. But right now, we instead want a yes, no, yes, he has this, no, he doesn't. And so instead, can you give me a dice roll on a D100? Oh, okay, so loading after a few issues where ChatGPT lost everyone's history, apparently. But you can still access it as long as you have the URL. Though I don't think when I've tried it, new chats haven't actually showed up in the things. Anyway, I've gotten my history back, and rolling D100 gives me a result of 62. So over on the side here, I've written up a table really quickly showing how likelihood works here. I do believe that I said that this was very likely. So anything less than 90 on a D100, which 62 is, gives me a yes response. So if I had a very unlikely thing, then I'd want to roll less than a 10. So that tells us that we do have some contact in the city. Erendor has a contact in the city with which he can talk to about places to stay. So the next question is, so has contact? Is the contact family? 50-50, maybe even unlikely. We'll go 50-50, I think. Can you roll me another D100? 50-50, because could be extended family, nobility and all of that. 37, okay, is family, which means it is probably also nobility. Close family, another D100, please. So we're going to go unlikely for close family. 85, not close family. Okay, so Erendor goes to meet a family member in the capital. He wants to talk about setting up with the family member. They are nobility, but they are not close family. Who is this family member, and where do they suggest that Erendor stays? So the family member that Erendor meets in the capital is his second cousin, Lady Annabelle, who is a young and ambitious noblewoman. She suggests that Erendor stays at the Green Lion Inn, which is a reputable inn in the city's merchant district. Lady Annabelle tells Erendor that she has heard rumors about the kingdom going to war and suggests that he be careful and stay out of trouble. Those are both very reasonable things. And so then I guess getting that idea from ChatGPT, you could either take this into a game you're playing with people and go, well, these are the things that it's going to happen with Lady Annabelle, and then let them play that out to see how that works. Playing it as a solo game, I think now we go, okay, so we go and see Lady Annabelle. They're going to have this conversation. She's going to suggest that you go and stay at the Green Lion Inn and is going to talk about rumors about the kingdom going to war and that we should stay out of trouble. I guess the question is, do we take this as is and do we want to try and add to this and move forward, or do we want to try and work something else into this scene, I guess? So I want to know, someone setting up the game, want to know more about Lady Annabelle's relationship to the Golden Lion Inn. I guess the thing is, if I ask ChatGPT a question, it's going to give me a yes response, essentially. It's going to go yes and, yes and, yes and. So if I ask it, does Lady Annabelle have any friends to introduce that she could introduce to Erendor? The answer is going to be yes. And this is the problem that I'm facing here, because first of all, we need to, I guess, ascertain, are they friends? Maybe she doesn't have any friends to introduce, or maybe she has enemies that want to pretend to be friends. And there's all this complexity that ChatGPT won't give us because it's just going to go yes and. So I guess at this point, let's just ask. We'll roll a D100. We'll say it's likely that there is something else that Lady Annabelle can do for Erendor. So is there anything else? Can you roll me a D100, please? 24. So that means that there definitely is something else. That's also more than 50 away from the difficulty. So I think that this should probably be good. Lady Annabelle also has a suggestion. Also invites, let's say that she invites Erendor to an event. At this event, he can meet someone who will be a good trading partner. What is this event? So Lady Annabelle invites Erendor to a masquerade ball that will be held in the grand ballroom of the royal palace. The ball is being held to celebrate the upcoming wedding of the king's youngest daughter to a prince from a neighboring kingdom. Lady Annabelle tells Erendor that many important people from the kingdom's business and political circles will be attending the ball, and that it would also be a good opportunity for him to meet potential trading partners. She also warns Erendor to be careful at the ball, as tensions are high and there may be spies or informants present who could cause trouble for him. So this is good. So Lady Annabelle's inviting Erendor along as her +1, her, what was it, second cousin or something that is just come to, second cousin who has just come to the capital and will be able to meet a few people. And so we're starting to get some intrigue, which is good. Following this, Lady Annabelle invites to ball. So following this, Erendor will go and check in at the Green Lion Inn. So go to check in at the Green Lion Inn. Was it lion with a Y, or am I? No, it wasn't. I don't know why I wanted to spell it with a Y, but that's okay. So the question here is, does anything interesting happen? And we're going to just go 50-50. Does anything interest happen? Can you roll me a D100, please? 84. No, nothing interesting happens. He goes, checks into the Green Lion Inn. What rooms are available at the Green Lion Inn? Let's get a description of the place that he's staying. A small single room with twin bed. A large double room with twin beds and a private bathroom. A spacious suite with a queen-size bed, a sitting area, and a private bathroom. And a deluxe room with a king-size bed, fireplace, a private balcony overlooking the garden. I think he'd probably take the third option. We'll book option number 3 for the foreseeable future. Just let ChatGPT know where we're staying. Hopefully it will use that information in the future. Brilliant. The innkeeper nods. Understood. Your room will be ready for you when you return this evening. Is there anything else you need assistance with? Brilliant. Now, so the next question would be, does anything interesting happen between now and the ball? Because we're doing a video more on trying to work out how to use ChatGPT, I think that the answer for this will just go with no instead of rolling. No. We'll roll. We'll roll. Can you roll me a D100, please? And 50-50. Again, anything interesting. Okay, so nothing interesting happens. So that then brings us to the ball. What kind of mask does Erendor procure? Masquerade ball needs a fancy mask, right? Erendor procures a mask made of black leather that covers the upper half of his face. It has an intricate silver and gold designs that resemble leaves and vines. The eye holes are lined with small rubies. The mask ties at the back with a black silk ribbon. So Erendor will meet Lady Annabelle before the ball and go with her. How is she dressed? And what kind of mask is she wearing? Lady Annabelle is wearing an elegant, floor-length dress made of deep red silk, with intricate beading and embroidery along the bodice and hem. Her dress has a fitted bodice and a flowing skirt, and she wears a delicate silver necklace with a ruby pendant. Her mask is made of black lace, with intricate patterns and silver filigree accents around the eyes and edges. The mask is held in place with a thin black ribbon tied behind her head. Okay, so the two of them would then go together to the ball. They'd go along in the carriage, and I guess the question is, as they arrive together at the palace for the masquerade ball, what is happening? So something would be happening as everything is going along. They'd be moving in. People would be showing up. Other guests would be showing up. They might be milling around the palace grounds, around the entrance as they move in. So something would happen through this journey that would be interesting. So let's just ask ChatGPT to try and fill that out for us. As Erendor and Lady Annabelle arrive at the masquerade ball, they see that the courtyard of the grand mansion is filled with guests, all dressed in elaborate costumes and masks. There is a live band playing music on the raised platform at the far end of the courtyard. The dancers twirl around in the center of the courtyard. Servants are walking around with trays of food and drinks. and the air is filled with the chatter of and laughter of the guests. In the distance, Erindor can see the grand entrance of the mansion where Lady Annabelle leads him. Who does Lady Annabelle introduce Erindor to? Lady Annabelle introduces Erindor to Lord Cedric, a wealthy merchant from a neighboring country. He is dressed in a fine suit with a black domino mask and greets Erindor with a firm handshake and a friendly smile. Lady Annabelle explains that Lord Cedric is interested in expanding his trading network, and she thought that he would be a good partner for Erindor's family business. Lord Cedric seems genuinely interested in Erindor's background and asks him many questions about his family's import and export business. So that's interesting. ChatGPT very much remembers a lot of this stuff, which is good about who Erindor is. I guess the question is, what secret? Okay, first of all, does Lord Cedric have a secret? And we're going to say it's likely because that's going to be interesting. 32. So yes, Lord Cedric has a secret. What is Lord Cedric's secret? What are his goals? Now, this is important for the game master to know and can be one of the interesting points for solo games, because often you're trying not to find things out until your character does in a solo game. But instead, I just want to know. I need to know so that I know how he would act. Lord Cedric's secret is that he is secretly an advocate for the use of magic and believes that it can bring great benefits to the kingdom. His ultimate goal is to gain enough influence and power within the government to change the laws regarding the use of magic. But he's from somewhere else. So is this his goal in his own country? Is this his goal for his own country? Or for the kingdom he is visiting? Because it already said that he was foreign, but we haven't really I think the problem here is that we haven't detailed other countries. We just know that they exist. And so ChatGPT is drawing on the things that it already knows from the conversation. Hence, the goal is magic. Whereas, realistically, I feel like this would be a good place to introduce something new to the story as opposed to drawing on some of the existing things, because we're just at the beginning of it. Lord Cedric's goal is primarily for his own country, but he also sees potential for benefits to the kingdom he's visiting if his plans come to fruition. So his goals are less about his country itself, but more about the view of magic, which is the problem there is that people in this world can't necessarily readily use magic. So we don't have this cast of people that can use magic easily and at will, but people that have been known to use magic in the past. But maybe his goal is to, if you advocate for its use, you can advocate for its understanding and maybe then bring it into fruition. Can he, or has he used magic in the past, and is that a secret? I feel like it's going to say yes, and so I've really asked it the wrong question. Yes, Lord Cedric has used magic in the past, but it is a secret. He is aware of the church's views on magic and the potential consequences of being found out, so he keeps it hidden. He only uses it when absolutely necessary, and even then, he is careful to conceal his actions. So, I feel like this gives us an idea, a good and interesting idea of how this sort of works in our solo game. And I think that we're getting the hang of it. Let me know if you want to hear the continuation of this story with me just playing only with ChatGPT, or otherwise I'm going to look at starting other games and just using it, either playing Iron Sworn, or I am going to start a Traveller game soon. I've got a few more of those books to read before I do that, but I do plan on giving Traveller a go solo, so maybe I will use this as a tool in that space as well. But let me know if you're interested in hearing a continuation to this. Thanks very much. I think I'm supposed to tell you to like and subscribe if you've listened this far. Or if you want to support me, you can go to my Patreon, which is in the description. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.